Hi, everybody. I just wanted to welcome everybody here and wanted to, first of all, introduce Georgia Wade here. She is an OBM like myself, and today we get to talk about a lot of great things. And one of the biggest things we talk about is coming in from a burnt-out VA to an OBM. And so I want to, formally introduce Georgia, and just if you want to say little things about your business and about all the things you have, would love to kind of get to know you more.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. So, as you mentioned, I started out as a virtual assistant probably two and a half years ago. And I got to a point where I was quite overworked and did find myself at that burnout. So what I had to do from there, I had fantastic clients, but I just found, and it comes a little bit down to my personality, but I was just finding that I was constantly just trying to, do better, be better, and unfortunately did get burnt out. So I reevaluated a few things, and I found once I took a step back, I had a few businesses reach out to me wanting a bit of work done. So I then decided, I naturally found myself going more into that online business management space. And that's where I find that I thrive more as well, more that sort of business management, helping clients set up their businesses and processes and systems and managing their clients and just really being there as their right-hand girl. So, so I decided to pivot from I had my time off and then I decided to pivot a few things and ended up in the online business management space, which I absolutely love. So
I see that's I think it's very similar to like what you had in order to I wanted, because my previous corporate positions, I wanted to always just be involved in everything. And some people are like, oh, you're just nosy, probably half, but I want to know everything. I want to know it and make sure everybody in the team is taken care of. And then that's what you said. And I see that in your personality, the more that we have spoken. And
thank you. Yeah.
It's good.
I'm very involved I like to be involved with the client and their clients. I like talking to people, building those relationships. And so I found that was more of an OBM role. Being really, having my clients introduce me to their clients, as their business manager. And I just was more involved that way, which I loved. So
no, exactly. And I think I tried to always compare it to in the corporate world where they say, oh, what is that? What do you do as an online business manager? It's kind of like your operations manager, you
absolutely
touch base in, all the departments for your clients, which is your VP or your president, CEO, however you want to say it. So no, I'm really glad that to speak with you about that. So I guess in a sense, going in from the VA to the OBM, how do you feel as an OBM, do you get to help release the business owner's stress or their overwhelm? So it's because you've gone it through yourself, when you are with your how do you feel you tame the overwhelm, I guess you would say.
And so look, I obviously, having kind of experienced that overwhelm and knowing what it's like trying to do it all, I was able to bring, this comes back to kind of every negative experience as a positive. I bring my experience and I'm there as their sounding board, and I'm there as a logical business manager, and I'm there so they can kind of, I can pick up and notice the signs of, if they are feeling stressed and overwhelmed, and really just make them feel, okay, let's sit down and talk about what we can do to kind of release that. And really just, letting them know what we can do to make the processes, and do we need more support, and just really looking at an overall picture of how we can kind of reduce that stress and that overwhelm. And, a couple of my clients we've gotten to a point where I'm helping them kind of hire other VAs and stuff. So just really structuring the business so they can run a business that's not so overwhelming and stressful for them.
Because actually what you just said there is basically, because I had another talk with another OBM a couple of days ago. That's what you're saying, understanding from what their stress of their clients are, because it's not just and sometimes when as any employer, any job you have, you've had a manager and they're like, like mad. But it's not really at you directly. But I feel like as their OBM, you're kind of like, I like the name Jan. It's kind of like, hey Jan, what's going on? Like, how can you make this like a little bit smoother? And I think
absolutely. That kind of comes back down. And for me, I'm a big believer in relationship building. And if you have a really good relationship with your client, it makes those types of conversations it's a professional relationship, but it just makes those conversations like your client doesn't feel like they're kind of talking to you, and it's okay every now and again that they are kind of releasing that stress and talking to you in a way that where you don't take offense to it. So it's very for me, it's all about, if you build that relationship with them at the start, you know, everything else really just is, you know, runs smoothly. So
no, I definitely understand that. And I think that's what I like when you say about building relationships, because that's pretty much what you are with your client, you know, as an OBM, because you kind of know the nitty gritty, you know, everything that's happening. So it's kind of when you know that you are building that relationship. So I think it's, in a sense, you got to nurture it. And then again, it's that, like you said, it's not coming from a place where you're like, oh, you're just being mean, but you're just kind of like, hey, I like the name Jen. Like, hey, you know, like if you're stressed about this, maybe we can outsource this, or maybe we can not today, and we can just move that project, you know, like in a month or so. It's not important. As their OBM, you get to say that. And I think that's a little bit the difference between the VA and OBM, because with the VA, of course, it's just like, hey, I need 10 things done, let's do it. Now with the OBM, you get to, I shouldn't say question what they're saying, but you get to say, hey, remember the projects that we're looking into, maybe we shouldn't do that today, because
just be a bit more involved with their business and how they're feeling. It's not just, you know, hey, can you do this task, see you later. It's more that ongoing relationship management.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, okay.
See, again, as an OBM, you got to do it all. You can't take them all up.
I know.
It's okay. Here you go. Oh, it's okay.
Oh, the juggling act is real.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, you can't change that. You know, it's just
absolutely not. It's real.
It's real. And that's the thing. As a mom, I'm kind of like an OBM for the whole house. Everybody's just like, what's going on? And I'm just like, everybody just calm down. So fun times for that one. So sorry about that, but
that's okay. It happens.
Yeah, in Vegan City, we're all stuck in this.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is, like you said, creating the relationship. And that's why I wanted, you know, when we spoke and I saw that you have the business and VEAS. That's why I kind of want to know more about that as well. Like, what is it, where it goes? And I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier about relationship, which is great, because I think that's why, you know, when people get burnt out, they don't really have a space to be like, hey, like, I'm so blah, 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 blah right now. And I think it's great that you have business and VEAS. So, I mean, if you want to talk a little bit more about it, and I think
yeah, absolutely. So business and VEAS, and again, it all comes back down to, you know, community and connection is something that's so important, especially in, you know, the entrepreneurial world and running your own business, having that support and that network around you. And, you know, there's a lot of networking groups out there, and we just really wanted it to be somewhere casual. And we obviously love coffee. And so we wanted to bring women together over a coffee to chat all things business and life, and just keep it real and really just, we want people to feel comfortable. And that was something, and again, it comes down to experience of, you know, anyone who's new in business and has just started business, there's always, you know, challenges, and you want to be able to, and what I found is I really wanted and needed a group or people to talk to, and I struggled to kind of find that. I was like, and look, you know, there's courses and there's programs and there's coaches and there's all that you can sign up to, but for me, you know, it wasn't, I couldn't just sort of drop $10,000 there, $20,000 here, $5,000 there. So we created Business and VEAS for women in business who, you know, want a casual, laid back vibe. Love to drink coffee, and a place where people could feel like they could just be themselves, talk about their challenges, and just get that support without having to kind of dive so deep into their pocket to get what they're looking for. Because the biggest thing I've learned is, you know, I have gotten the most value from talking to people and connecting with people. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and I think we can touch base on that too. How, like, you know how we met? Like, obviously we met, I believe, in like a Facebook group, and you reached out, and you were just so human. Like, a lot of them were like, I don't know that they were like, some of them were like, oh, sure, feel free to message me. But when I messaged, they were like, oh, that's it. Like, it's like one sentence, and I'm
that's
like,
lovely.
You were like, yeah, sure. Like, I can teach it and I can help you. And I think especially when you're new in the online space, it's hard because, you know, when you go to a regular job, the people that you're there, it's there that you work with. With online, this big whole new space that you want to, you know, get into. And I think that's good that you have business and needs, because you have like a safe place. Because again, there's so much stuff out there. Like you said, not everybody has the means to be able to put in that money, of a chunk of money, which is, again, if you can, that's great. That's something. This space, it's more real, and I think that's why it was really hard for me for a while when starting my business to kind of like find a space, because I was like I like these, but I can't do, like, I like this, but I can't afford, or like, you know, like there's just so much. But a lot
and we just wanted to share, you know, there's so many ups and downs, and you know, sometimes when you feel like you are kind of the only one going through it, and I got to a point where I was like, surely I'm not the only one that goes through these emotions and has their wins, doesn't have wind, and so me and my business partner started, we've got Business and Beans going, and it's an amazing, we absolutely love it. And
like more online, everything online, because I know you guys started off, you know.
So we started off doing like coffee catch-ups. I'm on the Gold Coast, and my business partner's in Brisbane, so we sort of started there doing coffee catch-ups. But you know, then we thought, okay, well, we want to try and reach as many women as we can that have been in our position, or that need that support or want that support. So we thought, okay, we'll go to the online space as well. So so it's we're loving it. We're meeting a lot of people, a lot of lovely people, and we just want it to be real, laid back, cool vibe, drink some coffee, and help each other where we can. Because
and that's amazing. It's not, and I love earlier too that you mentioned, it's not about like the stature, like, oh, I am a, you know, president of the blah blah blah. You're just more like, hi, I'm Georgia, and then, you know, this is what I have.
This is it. This is what you get.
That's amazing. Like, and that's what I like more, because again, that's why I think it was quite hard for me from the beginning when I started online, because everybody was like, oh, I do this, and I'm just like,
you want it, and you feel as though you need to kind of, you know, always be climbing, and what can I do that's better, and you know, kind of reach that perfection, and it's just not, it's not real, and it's, you know, you've got to do what works for you. That's one of the biggest things I've also learned. We might be going a bit off track here, but
I love that part. I love that.
You know, just do what works for you, and have people around you to support that. And I think a lot of the time, you know, especially when I first started, it was very much like, I need to do that, okay, I need to do this, and I felt, and that was probably part of the burnout, to be honest, is trying to do it all.
That's right. Same. I think we probably did it at the same time. I don't know.
I feel as though
because we started talking, I think, like in the beginning of the year, and then I think we're both gonna, because again, I was like, I'm not talking shit. Like, this is just my circle, you know.
I think we're supposed to, I think you and I are supposed to meet, put it that way.
Exactly. You know, and I think, and I'm glad that I got to, you know, to connect with you, and even like with the Business and Beans, like, I'm excited to kind of learn more too, because again, it's always just trying to find that space that, you know, that you feel. And I think with everybody, that's how it is. I think when people have like Facebook groups that they really like, that might not work with somebody else, or if they have like, you know, another support group that they're going to, that I might not like me, but I think it's just finding your like little your tribe,
and just to have that space also, just to kind of check in on a daily basis or a weekly basis, and just pick up something, maybe something that one of us has been through, and we really want to start to kind of, you know, bring people on board to talk about their experience in certain things. So watch this space. There's a lot happening in the background. So just, you know, chats like this and lives, and bringing, you know, successful business owners on to to talk about their experience. And yeah, so there's a lot of exciting things happening.
Yay. Okay, well, I'm excited. You know, there's
Yay.
yeah. So I'm really excited. So again, I never really know how to end these things, but like I'm really excited, but because like in a way, it's kind of like it's a safe space, and like you said, you started off obviously, you know, in the Gold Coast and Brisbane in that space, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, with the world now, everything has to be online. But it's nice to see what others, you know, coming in from different areas. And I think
yeah, absolutely. It's all very exciting.
Well, I'll put all your links and stuff below in the video. But again, thank you for being here. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Thank you, thank you. And I guess we'll see each other on Friday, and then we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, thank you.
Sounds good.
For watching.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.